Mhm. All right, all right. It's almost time. Gibson looks like ready.
Okay, give me a minute to,
Oh, take your time. I
yeah.
just said your name. You look prepared. I don't know. You don't need to be. You have like at least 40 more seconds. So I'll just kill the time.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for coming. Welcome to Xuanzang's Tower. Really happy to be here. Really grateful for you all. We will try to entertain you today with some very interesting philosophical ideas with our esteemed mixed nut Gibson Chang and his work translating um, Jason Kappa. You ready, sir?
Yeah, give me 10 more seconds.
Okay. I was going to get Amelie to count. She can count to 10 in a variety of.
In Spanish?
She can Spanish, French, Portuguese,
Wow. Tibetan?
Tibetan. No.
All right, I can share right now. Let me see.
Oh, no worries. Are you still in Japan?
Yeah, it's still in Japan.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. Here. All right, let me see. All right. Okay.
Oh boy.
So this class is pretty hard, okay, for me because I just going through the two translation and the third Geshe give me this one. I almost emotion breakdown every time I try to translate. So Nick, please help me if I start today, okay?
I will do what I can.
Okay. All right. So we are in the very beginning of the text, the essence of eloquence. And this tag is basically JSON Kaba were used to main text for leaks essence of eloquence. One is to at this point viewpoint of the mind only. The other one is the viewpoint of the middle way school. Okay, to describe the three turning of the wheel, which one is literal, which one is figurative. And the mind only school and the middle way school apparently they have a different point of view
Which
about
one
what
is
is
right?
a hmm?
Which one is correct?
uh, would what do you ask for middle way or for for the mind only?
Good question.
Yeah. So the first one is according to the Sutra of what I really mean. What are the three different lack of self-nature that Lord Buddha was referring to when he said that nothing had any nature of its own? Let me see the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Oh, cool. Upala. First one is the quality of lacking any definity of the nature. Cool. So what is the Western Chinese?
天宁我你没把
Nice.
天你我你，cool. 天你我你没把你.
Was that
I think the
Duoguo?
ni is the quality, right?
嗯
Two,
Yeah,
one.
they have the ni at the each word. Okay,
Oh, I
each letter.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Equality. Yeah, that makes sense.
So the second one is the quality of lacking any nature of growing.
给我你没把你
Yes. 你给我你没把你，给我，你没把你. Right. The
Flashbacks
third
to
one is the quality of lacking being ultimate.
Hmm.
Dendampa no ni me pa.
Dendampe, dendampa, no ni me pa.
Yeah, Dundamba. He said Dundamba. Okay, cool. So these three is very important, maybe in the following 10 or 12 class, because they are going to talk about why you present these three, because there's a lot of emptiness and why you summarize into these three. Okay. The second question, according to the text, what's the specific position regarding the sutras, such as those on the perfection of wisdom about nothing in the universe have any nature of its own? Will cause one to contradict both the commentary of a sutra by reading mean and the text of Master Asanga and his brother Vasubandhu wrote, and also leave behind the system followed by the Aya Nagarjuna and Aya Deva. So what is the position when
That's a long
he's,
question. Let's give it 1 minute.
yeah, when
If
someone
someone
see,
says,
yeah,
if
nothing in
someone
the
says
universe,
the Buddha means deceptive reality when he talks about Moani Mepa, then
oh,
he's making all these mistakes.
yeah, but why? Only
Uh,
deceptive, right? And he screwed the other one. Which one? He screwed the, I believe he screwed the Dunhamba. Because he say everything in the universe. So suppose someone say only refer to the deceptive type of the things and
Oh,
not the thing that belong to the ultimate type. Then he contradicts Low Buddha and Aya Nagarjuna Vasubandhu and Aya Deva, Aya Sangha. Yes. Okay. All right. So the third, what are the two reasons why Lord Buddha grouped all things from physical matter to the omissions of an enlightened being into three different types of things with no nature of their own?
oh. Wow.
one is
Let me see.
for people to understand better.
Yeah, that is a second one. Because grouping them this way made it easier to teach disciples how all these things don't have any nature of their own. The first one? Okay. Because all things can be summarized into three types of things with no nature of their own.
Very, very true and
Yeah, very true.
typical.
So what's it called? Called lava.
Easy to understand.
Yeah, easy to understand. Ngoni me pa.
No
No
essence.
self-nature.
Yeah, nothing has any nature of its own. Tuntamba? Anyone?
Ultimate. Ultimate.
Yeah, ultimate reality or ultimate type. Okay, let's go to the translation. Let me see. Okay.
So you did some translating ahead. That looks awesome.
Okay.
If we're gonna go through it word by word, maybe we don't need to read the English ahead of time because
Yeah, I think we just read this one and word by word. It's much more better.
But
Thank you.
maybe if you could scroll up so that those who are doing live translation will have some clues
yeah.
when they get to translating our discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go word by word. Let me see. Nick, can you read the first one?
Okay. Nibani elte ngoni mebar sumbe chenam ngoni mebar sum du duna esum kang ying ngoni metsu chitar yinam na ngoni meba dangpo shepani gongjale tela tenam ki tenyi ngoon yi mewa nigang shena. Kuntak be tenyi gang yimbao.
Oh, cool. So Nipani is referred to Jason Kappa is going to explain something in a very brief way and some extensive way, and also give the example to illustrate this idea. So the second one, he's going to explain why he's going to summarize these three into everything into these three in a very extensive way.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This is the extensive explanation of why he
Yeah.
summarized everything into these three.
Yeah. So what is a Celtic?
I don't want to
Let me
hug
see.
if.
Let me see. Yeah, we can spell it in this way.
Okay.
If what is okay, let's start from here. 너원이 매바 순배 추능. So what is this?
Somebody else
Anyone can
jump in there.
도도?
Well, the teaching of the Buddha, which says nothing has any self-nature
Mm.
of yourself.
So what is a chair here mean?
Existence.
Teaching Chinam.
Oh yeah. Sunbechunam.
Sunbichin.
Yeah, I also think it's a teaching, but I think it says existence thing, right? So here maybe say
I think Chuggy is the existence, I think. I don't know.
yeah. This is what I mean. I think sum here means the teaching.
Yeah.
When Buddha say "Ngoni meba," everything in the world have no nature of its own. Let me see. Sunbei chuno.
So all the things that Lord Buddha refers to when he talks about no self-nature.
I think you're right that when Lord Buddha referred that things don't have any nature of its own, he's saying "Ngoni meba sun to Duna." So Caltech, I do a research. Caltech always come with the na, right?
Yeah.
Often.
Yeah, often. So
If
so
it's the
if
case that nothing has any nature of its own,
yeah,
then you collect all things into the three types of
yeah,
not having essence.
No, I think
it's a big
the Buddha summarized all of the things that he talked about that have no nature of their own into the three types of
into these three types. And he say Kangin.
Yeah, GIBSON. I think if we if we are considering the teachings on essencelessness, the teachings on not having an essence, right? If we duna, right? If we group those into three, right? If we divide those into three.
We're dividing the chunams, not the teachings.
We're grouping them, not dividing them.
Grouping it.
Well,
it's the same thing.
it is the same thing in this context.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
we're abbreviating them or what, but
we're taking the lack of essence and we're talking about it in three groups. So you
Yeah.
could say that you have a lack of essence that you're dividing into three, or you could say that you're putting it into three groups. And I
Yeah.
think you could get away with either in the English, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay.
It says do.
Do sometimes means to condense, right?
It
To
does.
to group. Yeah.
Hmm.
So he
So we're
said when I
grouping all the emptiness of all things into three.
yeah, summarize to be three. And he said黑顺抗印.
What are the three?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, why at least three? Yeah,
Yeah.
why at least three? And ngoni metsu jita.
Uh-huh. How into these three?
Yeah, how these three is lacking any nature of the definitive nature of growing and ultimately how are they lacking of this nature? So
Mhm.
he
You might
asked these two questions.
Yeah.
So 냥
Consider if we consider that.
yeah, if we think to ourselves, if we are wondering, consider. Yeah. And ngoni mepa tambo siapani.
Mm.
Here's an explanation of the
As
first.
for the explanation of the first type of lack of essence,
Yeah. Sorry. I thought it's a tambo siapa, but you are right. It's a ngoni mepa tambo.
Mhm.
It's the first lacking, the
Mhm.
lacking of what's the definitive nature. 체닝어. So he's going to explain the 체닝어, and he quotes from the Gongzhao Lei.
what I really meant.
What I really mean, yeah, tela. What is the tela here mean? I'm a little bit confused here for a little while.
We should find the quote if we want to
Yeah.
find the Taylor.
Right.
Oh, tela is referring to the quotes. Okay.
Well, when
Yeah,
it says
quote-
lay, it usually means that what follows is a quotation
No,
No.
from that text.
yeah, whatever. Taylor means what, referring to what he was talking about right before in the quote,
Mhm.
quote in the book.
Mhm. On that.
Before in the book. Oh,
Yeah,
It just means on that,
Yeah.
as
oh,
as regards that.
yeah. Okay,
thing he
okay.
was talking about before. Yeah.
All right. 출난기 체닝어원이 메바. So this is the 어원이 메바 당보, right? Yeah, 체닝어. So this is the first lacking. The everything in the world have lacking of the definitive nature of its own.
Uh-huh.
당시나?
You may wonder what that means.
Yeah.
Or you may wonder what that means. And that is 꾼따배 체니 강인배.
Mhm.
강인바.
Mhm.
So that is the construction or imaginary thing
Mhm.
in the three attributes.
Mhm.
I think last time Geshe also say if you can link these three to the three attributes, then
Mhm.
you are a real mind-onlyer. So
Mhm.
here he
Mhm.
give the answer. The first ngoni 체닝어원이 메바 is the 군다.
Mhm.
군다 배치. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
How do you translate that? Kontak Betsini.
군다 배치니 I translate the attribute of the imaginary thing. But I see Geshe also translate as construct or construction,
Then he says characteristic too.
characteristic.
Yeah.
So is there any problem if I translate attribute?
Necessarily might maybe consistency, but besides that, it means similar things. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
You could say the attribute of being an imaginary thing.
Oh, being.
Being, well, just to make the English flow,
All right.
being,
Yeah.
it makes more sense if you say the whole sentence that way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mhm.
To
Okay.
attribute, if you want to.
Yeah,
To the attribute.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Thank
It,
you.
yeah, it refers to that teni, that quality
Yeah.
of things, which is that they are gunta. They are imaginary.
Yeah. So, what is the imaginary thing?
Hmm.
X.
What isn't? But oh, wrong school.
Wrong school. Uh-huh.
Yeah, good question. What do you tell us, Mr. Gibson? Your book. You're the
I
boss.
took the
What's that?
ACI 15 for my legs ACI. I remember there are two pumpkin, right?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkins?
Yeah, Geshe referred to the pumpkin on the Twin Tower. Twin Tower. I don't
Oh
know. This is
yeah.
the only thing I
Yeah,
I remember.
he said it instead of purple elephant. He said pumpkin on the Twin Tower.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
I actually don't remember that.
When did
yeah. He said
anyway?
there's a two Gunda. One is the real one, and one is the imaginary, the false one in your head, right? The concept.
Yeah.
And in the Maori school, this is not real. The other two is real, for my understanding.
Some of them are real and some of them are not real in the mind only school.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Yeah, you could have a
Okay.
someone's name, like Kramer could have been Valentino.
Mm.
Or you could have a Quintok, which is like most famously the Gokja, something that could never have existed, would never exist, can never exist.
Oh, Geshe used the jashi, right? In that class.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like jashi. Okay. Last one, Dodo.
季节写呢，你的天你明当的能把下北千你去让你千你去南把内把你马因北天切天你千你我你没把你这切哦写送的。
还是顺的。Okay. So what is it? 被妻妾先呢？妻妾。
You may ask, why is it like that, or why is that?
Yeah.
What the
You
heck?
mean why the first 千里我里面 is the attribute of being an imagined thing?
I
Is
would
that
suppose.
what?
It's,
Okay.
it's most likely that's what the te is referring to.
Okay. And did that day?
It's
Um,
this.
it's
Oh,
ditar te ni.
yeah. Oh,
Mm,
did that day? Okay.
Yeah.
This is how it is, right?
Yeah,
mm.
in the manner which we were just talking about, it is, and now it's going to explain it.
Okay. And this is very famous, but it's only mean the shark, no zang.
Yeah.
So what is a mean tang de namba shape? Chenny.
Nice.
It's defined as being a names and terms that are put forward or presented or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
mm, Chenny is a characteristic. It's very hard for me to pronounce that one. Attribute. Yeah. And shaba is present, right?
Or established.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's established or display.
Yeah.
Display, that's a good.
The Mintang Day. What is the usual translation for Geshe the Mintang Day? Because these two is very similar thing, right?
Names
Name
and
and label.
Mental image.
Yeah.
Then
Name and
Ming.
label.
Mental image.
Okay. So
Yeah.
day is a mental image.
Yeah.
But he
I
doesn't put mental image in every translation. He usually says terms and it means mental image, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
usually
I
says,
I think what he used to say a lot was name and label, meaning, word, and mental image.
Word and mental image. Okay.
he usually translates it as label, but
So what does that mean?
back in the day.
Like
But
when somebody say a word, then you have the word and the mental image in your mind.
Yeah, word and thought.
Yeah, he's saying
Word.
that's how things are established,
Okay.
Yeah.
or that is by definitively things are established definitively
Mm.
through names and labels.
Yeah, means and label. Okay. And
Yeah. Or they have that quality. I don't know if you would say definitively,
Yeah,
but they have the quality of being established through name and label, which of course you have to point out here, Gibson,
mm.
is how things exist in the middle way school.
Okay.
It's the same exact phrase. Ming de shak tsam.
yeah,
but
Only.
just because it's the same phrase doesn't mean it's how things exist in the middle way school.
right.
Because he don't have the
That would be
melody,
true, but I think it is true.
but he didn't use the melody, right? That song.
He didn't say tsam here.
It's
And he
not.
didn't say by or through.
Hmm.
He said nampar.
Oh,
No,
oh, nang
the
nang.
S on da is
Yeah.
by or through. It's da,
Yeah.
Yeah,
de,
it
And
is.
Mingdang Da, right? It's not Mingdang De.
on de, yeah.
Yeah, it's the size instrumental, right?
Yes.
It is.
So this is instrumental?
Yeah, by or through.
Oh,
Uh-huh. Or with or
oh.
via.
Mm,
so then
interesting.
then the nampar then is completely or thoroughly.
Yeah, it's probably just the Sanskrit prefix. It still just
Yeah.
means establish. It just a strengthener, like the re and remember.
Yeah, I agree with word here. There's a million times where this word appears as nampar shakpa, just saying the same thing. It's just a
Yep. Okay.
yeah.
We are still in the quotation.
I don't think so. Oh, that's a good question. Yeah,
And
yeah. Hey, soon.
If we are still in the quotation, then we are quoting the Sanskrit, and so Nampar Shakpa is certainly a Sanskrit prefix.
Mm,
V or something.
probably the
mm. Okay, like a namba tokpa, right?
Yeah,
yes,
Oh,
Vikalpa.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So, in here, ranki teni ki namba neba. Here you also use the number. Namba shapa and namba
Hmm.
neba. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Yeah,
but he say maimba, maimba.
yeah. It doesn't stay through any
Does
nature
it?
of its own, or any definition of its own.
this,
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm.
but the
Okay.
mayimpa is after the knee. It's a little different.
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
As far as staying through its own nature, it's
Yeah,
not. It's not saying that.
exactly. It does not. It's not in that way. It doesn't exist in that way or something like that.
Mhm.
mm. Doesn't exist in a way that he stay, or abide through
Its
the
own nature.
condition of his own.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist through any definitive nature of its own. Something like that.
Okay. And oh, 117陪你我你没本你恰我写顺的
Yeah, we should just go to the oh, I guess.
go to the
That's
O. Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why
Hmm.
we
Yes.
we
Mm,
say it is the 千你我你没本.
Hmm.
It's the
mm,
characteristic
Hmm.
that exists by having no nature of its own.
Mm.
Having no nature.
have no nature of its own. So the reason is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So can we explain again the reason?
No. In this case, oh yeah. Here, I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Gibson, do you want to take a shot, Gibson?
Because the thing have the quality that present established by the name and mental image, and therefore they are not exist in a way that they stay or abide in a definitive of its own.
They
Definite,
don't exist in a way in which they stay through or they exist through any of
they
them.
stay through. Okay.
Well,
So this
what
is
is
why
that
we
knee
call it
doing then
here.
in between the Nepa and the Mayimpe?
That
Oh,
it's summing up the Rangi Tsenni Ki Nampar Nepa.
Mhm.
It's just that S is the same. It matches with the key. It doesn't exist like that.
I think
There,
it goes all the way back to the Ditar, actually. All
Yeah.
of that.
so you mean the Maimba also including they are not established through the Min and Mintang number Shapa? Is that what you mean, Upala?
Well, oh. There's a yin there, so I think it is saying that these things which are established through names and terms.
yeah.
So there's a yingi. So those things which are,
But the gi is a but, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
it stops
yeah,
at the my yin is only for what's after the gi.
Mm.
yeah.
The first
Oh,
part says yes, second part says no. That's why Teni Ngomoni Mepa.
Yeah, the first part is what it is. The second part is
Yeah.
what it's not.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah.
So you have a yin and a ma, yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, Nick. Yeah. Yeah, it is that way, and it's the blah, blah, blah. That's not how it is.
So
Because
things are dependent upon, have the attribute or the quality of depending on name and label rather than existing through their own definitive nature.
Mm.
And since it's like that,
how about the name?
no, exist. It's just
existing by a definitive
Mm,
nature rather than nepa existing, being around by, dwelling, living by some definitive nature of their own rather than
mm,
that.
mm. Yeah, I think.
Mayimbe, since they ain't like that, they cheer on account of them not being that way. We
Mm,
say they have they lack a definitive nature.
Mhm. That's why we say they lack a definitive nature,
sure.
said the
Okay.
Buddha.
or they have the characteristic of lacking any nature of their own.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
I think you probably have to include the definitive nature in what they lack because I think this definitive nature is going to be allowed later for Shenwang for caused things, for things under the influence of other things. He'll include, I think, that and Yingoo for those,
Mm.
a definitive nature.
I think we could
That
bring
sounds
this one.
reminiscent of ACI, of foundational.
Yeah, we can talk about this after the class about how to bring this to our daily life.
Oh boy.
Oh, good. No
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Now go to the next one. Let me see.
And yeah, right. You were right, Gibson. That's where we close the quotation. That's where after that is where we'll
Yeah.
the quote.
Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. 식당번이기 틸랭기 군딱체니 ngowoni mepar shene techichir shena shepe tegyutsen tripe lentu gakchokne rangitseniki matrupatang tupchokne mingtangde shakpa yinpe gyutsen sungso.
Okay. Yeah. Here is really hard, so I stopped translation here.
Good
All
polish.
right, let's go through this one, okay? 치탐보 칠렌 기칠렌.
The two of the first words in the question and answer, the discussion.
Sik is a word we can say sentence or verse.
Usually it is an S if it's verse, but on the end.
Okay.
2 lines. I think in the Chinese translation it says these 2 lines, these first 2 lines.
Yeah, I think I've had it as a line in my text as well.
All right.
Oh, you had it in your okay. So the first of the two?
The first of the 2 lines.
Yeah.
First 2.
The first 2, yeah.
Oh, 치탐보니, the first 2. But how can we say the first of the 2 in the
First 2
Western
lines. First 2 lines.
First 2 lines, okay.
Oh.
I don't think you. I don't know. If you wanted to say the first of the 2, you'd have to. You'd be like nipa ni.
리바나, okay. 치탐본 나니.
You would say la. You would say
Nipa
dang.
la. Yeah. Nipa la dang.
Oh, you would say la. Okay. Thank you. So the question and answer is the first 2 sentences. 군따 세닝어원이 메바 시에네.
That's where it explains the definition or the definitive lack of a self or nature to imagine things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or having explained that, ne.
Yeah.
No, ne is just a transition to the next part.
Yeah, having explained that.
So
No. Yeah, explain that. Therefore, or after that.
So we explain that 세닝어원이 메바 is the gunda.
Yeah.
And therefore.
Yeah. Then.
You can even be like, so.
Yeah.
So.
Why did they do that?
Why did they do that? 谢北 is a quote.
Yeah. What?
From this
quote. Yeah, the first 2 lines.
From the okay. Yeah. 태이 규첸. 규첸 is the reason.
The reason for that. Yeah.
The reason for that, and that is Chibelen.
Same as Dreeland. I don't know the response to the
yeah. It seems
so
like to say that we have to read the whole sentence, I think, but it seems like he's going to say that the reason is given in the answer to the question.
Yeah, that makes sense. Or
I remember Leak saying that the Deichicheshana is here.
Yeah.
So he said, they are going to explain this world. Why do we say so?
Yeah.
And let's give the reason for your answer, for your question.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, totally. Nice.
Yeah.
Because it's
he asked why. The answer is, here is the response.
Yeah.
And they have two sides. One is gacho and one is jucho.
Yeah, one is the refuting side and one is the proving side.
Yeah.
So the first one is the refuting side, right?
Yeah.
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 So the refuting side, he said, rangi teniki matruba.
Right.
Mhm. Says
Yeah.
Yeah, he's explaining what we were just trying to explain.
Mhm. Yeah. Right.
They're
First,
not.
yeah, go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But first he explains how it doesn't exist, and then he explains how it does exist.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
matruba is what?
He
Doesn't
said,
exist.
yeah, first he does a refutation from the side of refuting. He says, well, it doesn't exist through any definition of its own. And then after
Oh,
that, he says how it does exist through a proof. And he says how it does exist is um as as being established through names and terms or labels or
oh,
yeah.
That's why.
okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
okay.
So
So
I'm not sure
the
he did do it in that order.
No.
Well, he sort of like,
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. He said things don't have a definitive nature of their own. That's the thing that's the thing that the person is asking the question about. What does it mean when you say that things don't have a definitive nature of their own? And then the first thing he says is we're actually referring to the quality of being an imaginary thing. And why do we say that?
Mhm.
Because those things have the quality of being established through names and terms. They don't exist by definition.
Mhm.
Therefore, we say they don't have a definitive, they don't have a quality of existing from their own side.
Mm.
Yeah. Well said.
Here,
That
yeah,
is-
here we have the Mintang de Namba Shape. He established this one, and he said they are not um, existing by the definition, right? Or the state abide.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Their
when
own definition.
Jason Kopp in the other order, he says his gokchok is the
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
is the second part.
Mm.
Second part's his gokchok, and the first part's his droop choke.
Oh, true.
Mhm.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Cool.
So you can say that he explains the way things don't exist and the way they do exist.
Okay.
And I think Upala was clarifying very eloquently that GIBSON is referring to that's the reason why we say that they are Ngoanimepa, or what was the full Tenyi Ngoani?
Yes.
Anyone, maybe. Yeah.
Mhm.
Or the reasoning behind his response to the question is giving a refutation first, blah blah blah, and then giving a proof of yada yada yada. That's the reasoning.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Deichir Shepe, right? With the words, hey,
Mhm.
why would you say that? You are
Mm,
Jipe Lendu, right? You're asking for the reason.
mm.
You see,
Mm,
Okay.
mm,
those words are asking for the reason.
Mhm.
mm.
Yep.
The answer to the question, right?
Yeah, the answer to the question,
Len,
the reason.
Jupelen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any question here?
As long as
Great.
you got it. Yeah.
How do
All
you use
right.
it in practical life, Gibson? That's my only question.
Yeah, this is our only question. We will discuss
Mm.
later.
He gets to think about it for 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Has
have
to
a
do with
three
it.
lacking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being able to eat as
Okay.
many French fries as you want.
Ben, can you help me
Yay! Oh,
read
sorry.
this one?
Oh, sure. Doi mikje ba di op ma ni kyang she par chaho. Kuntak lame gyutseni ni ki ngoni ni ranki tseni ki drupam nepala chao.
Okay.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay.
Drupa
This is the territory.
omnepa.
Where? Chupa Omeba.
Drupa omnepa.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Yeah, existing or establishing or existing. It's in a positive, right?
It.
So we can translate the name as existing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right. And he just made it clear to you in case you weren't clear. Drupa meaning nepa.
Yeah.
Ah,
Or Nepa means Drupa.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He's equating them for us.
Yeah, it's in a
so
positive.
this ang is or the gendu.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's a or, but it's
Hmm?
in a positive in English. It
A
just means
positive.
I'll tell you what Drupa means. It means I'll tell you what Nepa means. It just means same as Drupa.
Oh, cool.
The commentators use or a lot when they're trying to clarify a word.
Yeah.
Rupa or Nepa.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Can anyone help me?
I would go up to
密切吧.
Yeah, now we're in the latter of
well,
the
Here
two
we
parts, I guess.
from the last, right? You should understand, right? Right?
We
You
should
should-
know. Yeah, you should know.
should
You should
also
know.
understand the last two parts of the lines. The last because he said the first two
Omani.
and the last two lines.
But yeah, the latter two.
So
Yeah.
Omani is the last two line. Last two line.
Mhm.
The
Yes.
latter two. Yeah.
It's the opposite of sik dangpo ni.
Mm.
Okay. So they have a full tick.
I guess so. Oh.
That would be convenient for us. That wasn't clear to me, but it seems to be spoken that way.
Well, we could just go back and divide it up if you want to really quickly, but
I
Where?
think
You
it
want
wasn't
to
the full
double check.
verse.
Here? No.
Oh.
That and what's
I don't-
above. That and the go back.
This is the quote. So yeah.
Yeah.
Starting from Tela. Let's see. Tela Chenem Kitsen.
It's
I-
prose. It's not
I
Yeah,
tried. I don't. Sandi Nirmochai is not in verse that way, but
Oh,
the Tibetans do have a way of describing it as verse, which is not to say that it's verse as in poetry, but they do describe number of lines. So, like when we say the perfection of wisdom in 8,000 verses, it doesn't mean it's poetry. It's just a way of counting verses. And my guess is that that's being applied here.
Yeah, there's 4 lines.
all right. The
is
second
full line here? No.
it has to be the quote, right? So the last two lines of the quote.
yeah.
Okay. So what is the 密切? You should focus on the.
Eye opener.
That's
Oh.
not I.
Oh,
That's object.
Object.
object opener. The objectifier.
If you were to make distinctions about the objects in the sutra,
Oh. Okay.
Oh, divider. Yeah.
by making these distinctions about the objects in the sutra,
Then you should understand the later two verses, the later two sentences.
yeah, you should also understand the latter two of the verse quoted or the lines quoted.
And Kuntala me
Kuntaks Kuntaks don't exist.
What is a la here mean?
La goes with
Mm.
me. You need a la with me in you. It's a convention.
Oh, okay.
Talk la. Well,
So
usually,
here means if Kunda is not exist, then 규 이체니 징오니 then the cause will have the definitive nature of its own.
The
I
reason.
think that the like definitive nature of being caused, does it not exist in Guntax? The formation's a little weird, but I would have put the may at the end, so I'm a little bit confused about that.
It
But
could be saying what's not existent in the Kuntak is the
yeah,
nature of being caused.
yeah, because we wouldn't say that Gundaks don't exist, but we would say that they don't have a definitive nature in them. And we could even say that the definitive nature of being caused doesn't exist in them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's something like that. I think that's why the law comes right before May.
I
I
think
think so.
the thing that doesn't exist about Kuntax is a cause which gives it a definitive nature.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, that
yeah.
Can May go with Q?
talk
The
about.
reason that it
Megyu.
doesn't exist? I don't
Oh,
know.
I don't think so.
no,
I
I
think
don't.
it's what Kuntaks are missing. Kuntak Lame.
Mm.
And I think the caused nature is so important to the way that Shenhuang exists that probably this will be seen to be set up in opposition to that. So we'll see, but I would bet that Gyu causedness is a tseni, a quality that you do find in the other sort of nature we're going to talk about, which is caused things, Shenhua.
Mm.
I think the again, it's a weird place to put the to my taste, but he didn't consult with me.
Mm.
Okay.
So what we'll say here is if there's no kunda, no construction or imaginary things, then
It's
it's a reason, it's a cause to the definitive nature of its own.
it
It's
it
not
seems,
Gyutsen.
yeah, it seems like it's saying the Gui Tseni is the definitive nature of a cause.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's
It looks,
confusing because we just had Gyutsen, but
yeah.
mm.
this is not Gyutsen. This is the tseni of being a Gyu. This is the
Okay.
nature of being caused or being a cause,
Right.
probably being caused, I think.
Mhm.
Okay.
Kuntak
So
Lame.
yeah, kunaname.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just guessing that Kuntak Lame is like that's what the Kuntak is missing. The definitive
Uh-huh.
of being caused or being caused by definition.
Yeah,
Right.
that could be in a positive, especially because this is a commentary on the verse. So if that's in a positive, that would work well, right? Which is what word said, right? The what is lacking in Kuntax,
Mhm.
comma, right? The essence of being caused by definition or something. Ni
Yeah,
is.
Mm.
yeah, because after the knee, he just confirms it. He says the thing that the way Kuntaks don't exist is being caused by some definitive nature of their own. Because if they knee, if that was the case, then they would have to exist through some nature of their own.
Mhm. That's how I'm interpreting that knee.
Because the La Ja is similar to the La Me.
Uh-huh.
I think
Yeah, Nepal. It would have to be. Yeah, it would.
it would have to be the case that they would be established or exist through some nature of their own.
Mhm. Nepal. Weird.
I think he's
Mm.
rewording it so he's just rewording it so people understand why they say what they say, why the Buddha said what he said about Kuntak. He's like, let me put it another way for you.
Mm.
Like let's make like Mick and Jepa, let's make some fine distinctions about the Okmani might be the same lines that we've discussed. Those last two lines
Hmm.
might actually be the same lines, actually. I don't know.
Hmm.
Or the defin definitive nature of its own, that without the kunda is is the Rankitseniki Drupa? Is the definition of the thing have any definition of its own?
Mm.
Because
I
we have
think
to
so.
thinking about they are talking about this one.
Yeah.
So the sentence is what's the ngowani of the Kundak Lame Gyu Chenyi? It is Rangi Chenyi Gi Drupa, right? Because basically it is ngowani Rangi Chenyi Gi Drupa if you condense the sentence. So what's the ngowani? The Kundak Lame Gyu Chenyi.
It's Gui, not Gyu.
Sorry, it's very Chenyi, right? But yeah.
The Gui Teniki Ngowani all goes together as one. Yeah. He's saying it's not Shenwang's. Like
Okay.
the thing
So
of Kunta,
basically, this one is
yeah.
this one.
Yes, that's Ni. Ni means like equivalent or equal or is, or I'll explain it like this or something.
Okay, so anything have any definitive nature of its own without the kunda, it is the Rankitseniki Drupa or
No,
Rankits. Nope.
no, what the
No.
Kunta is not is something that by cause lacks has some definitive nature of its own. Because that
Oh,
would mean it would have to exist through some nature of its own. Sorry, Utpala, you were saying?
Oh, I was just gonna say that Kuntak's there is no quality of having an essential nature of being a cause in Kuntak's.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
That's right.
when we say that, or something
Yes.
like that, that sounds
Yeah.
a hell of a lot better. What that means is that they don't exist they're not established by definition, or they don't exist by definition.
Yeah. That's right.
okay.
Or
By the way, the Jao, which is mirroring the
Jepa.
Bipar Jao, right? So I'm not used to this construction. Ja usually means like should or must or ought to be so. But it's possible in this case that it's just referring to this is what it is.
Ja
You
could
should know.
Ja could also be object. The O is just a
Yeah. No, I know, but just because it's mirroring what came right above it, you see these latter two lines in the sutra explain what you should know. And then here's what that
Oh.
is that you should know.
Yeah,
Sure.
seems likely that it's still a shape our jaw. It's still referring to the shape.
Mhm. Here's the job. Here's the thing that you ought to know, which is what it is that kuntaks lack, which is having a definitive nature of being caused, and which is to say, um, existing through their own definitive nature or being established in that way.
Yeah. And that would explain the me being there. I mean, it'd be nice if there was a she after the me. That would be helpful.
Mhm,
Yeah, right.
mhm, mhm.
But yeah, it's like a colon or something after the me.
So we can
Mhm.
imagine he have a shape.
Or a ni.
or ni. Oh,
Yeah, that's a thing with appositives a lot of the time in direct commentary to verse is that it's often awkward or an like you have the drupam nepa.
yeah,
You say the thing you mean and then the way it appears in the verse, or the thing in the verse and then what it means, and you say them next to each other, sometimes right next to each other, uh,
yeah,
without explaining their connection because you are glossing, we say in English, meaning offering an alternative phrasing or term for the preceding term.
yeah. It's hard to understand if they don't have a verb in front of a child. Then you,
Agreed.
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
confusing. That's why it
Okay.
seems to be implying something.
Yeah, you should what? Yeah, implying something.
Yeah,
Oh,
because it's like a phrase, like in quotes almost or something.
Mhm.
mm.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Or italicized.
Mhm. That's what it should
Yeah,
be.
survive.
Yeah. Well, we made it
Mm.
to class.
Very good. Very nice.
Oh, I think I found something cheap, Lin. Maybe it's a name of a sutra or a commentary or something.
What
Where?
is?
The highlighted one, cheap, Lin. It is a quotation. It
No,
might be.
Oh, Jibelan.
Well, it's not super uncommon. Like it just means response to question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, the response to the question of why, Deichi Choshina.
yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
but this is what I saw in the Chinese translation. It's a quotation. And
Interesting.
Yes.
the
Oh,
name of the name of the sutra has a answer in it. The name of the not maybe not sutra, but the name of the book that he's quoting from has an answer to it. So
Mm.
in Chibe Lendu, in that in that you can translate it in that specific book.
Weida.
Yeah,
Does he mention which book?
Mhm.
we should check Chibe Len. I think it
It's
can be.
it's Gondrel. They named the book right before this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's Gondrel. It's a Sandi Nirmochai Sutra.
yeah, here.
Mhm,
Oh, okay.
One of our favorites.
mhm.
It has a different name in Chinese translation.
Mm.
Mm.
I'll put it down for Gibson. I mean this one.
Use
Okay,
Roman
let's.
characters, please.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Oh,
I mean
so the Chinese
yeah,
is helpful.
this is Chinese. It's the Chinese.
Oh, Chinese.
It's the Chinese. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good. It's helpful. It's great.
Okay.
And no
Well,
need
Let's
to
summarize.
transliterate to the Roman characters.
It
thank you.
will still be Gibson. It's your big moment to now enlighten
Oh,
all or
Mm.
enlighten each other.
Very
I
good.
try to summarize what's going on in this class first. Then
That's cheating.
yeah, we are going to the next section, and next section is based on the Dode Gongzhang. Okay, Dode Gongzhang is on the viewpoint of the my only school to explain in Buddha three turning of the wheel, which one is the true, and which one is literal, which one is figurative. And the Buddha's mentioned here, he summarized everything in the world that have three lacking. Okay, the first one is the lacking of the definitive, uh, definitive nature of its
Yeah.
own. The second one is the lacking of the growing. Um, the third one is the lacking of the nature of the ultimate. And today we are talking about the first one, the lacking of the any definitive nature of its own. And he say two things. One is everything is established through the meantime day, through the name and the turn, and they are not existing through any nature of its own, definitive nature of its own. Trinity neighbor? Yeah. So anyone have any application, how can they use in their daily life about the first lacking?
Well, one thing, like in the country in which I live, things are going to hell in a handbasket and appearing to me to be quite real in that the way my life has been for these 65 years of my life so far is drastically changing, and it's going to be horrible, and people are being, picked up off the street and sent to other countries, and it just it's so bad. But oh wait, no, this is things they have the quality of lacking any definitive nature. So golly, if it exists through names and mental images, how about I create a different kind of reality and not just sit here being freaked out about the end of the world as I know it.
Yeah.
I think
I
this is
agree.
what
I think everyone is experiencing the similar situation in the global wise, not only in the United States.
I know.
Yeah. And we think that this will lasting for a while, but in this one we just discussed, they don't have any definitive nature of its own, and it's all coming from our meantime day. And from my understanding, meantime day is our mental image and framed by our C, right? And so we can change it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So we still have a hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think one of the things I learned recently is when you are successful in the past and you use some kind of method to reach that success, then you will grasp to that method and you think that is real, that have some definitive nature. And next time when you use the same method and you fail, and you'll feel very frustrated and sad and angry, even angry. So I think this allowed us to thinking that they are lacking of any definitive nature, and we have to thinking about we can be success because that is coming from our meantime day, our name and the mental image.
Yeah.
And try to plant the seed to see other method coming out.
I think that's cool, Gibson. I can see that in my own life really clearly with meditation, because sometimes I'll follow a certain approach or pathway to have a decent meditation. And because it worked well last time, I'll try to do the same thing and it never works the same. It's like you always have to kind of like come into the present moment and find a slightly new.
Yeah.
It's never going to be the exact same thing. So I can see that really clearly with success in meditation.
Yeah.
That's the cool point.
I think Mental Sarani also mentioned about some people may say, if everything is coming from our name in turn, does that mean they don't exist?
Don't exist definitively.
What does that mean?
By definition, there's nothing about them that is that way. They are that way because I think of them that way and I tell them what I do. Forced by how I was with other people. Man, I was a jerk.
Mm.
Question.
It's a mix, a jerk and a good person. Yeah.
It seems like this is the way that it's close in a way to the way that people normally think, that you have some ideas in your head that you're stuck in, as if there's a real world out there,
Mhm.
and your habits and your past tendencies are putting some trip on the world, and you're lost in your own trip and not seeing the real world. Now, what we find later is if you go and try to find what you're laying the trip on, what you're laying your label on, of course, you find another name, another idea, and another label. And then what is that label upon? Well, it's on another name, another idea. It's on another label. So two people walk into a room, and one person is happy with the room, and the other person is sad with the room. And is the room good or bad? Or is that because of what was going on in the one person's head or the other person's head? Well, that's just their trip. That's just their head trip. That's just what's going on for them. The room isn't really that way. And then some people want to go and find the way the room really is, but you won't find it. You won't find the way the room really is. So your head trip can make the room quite lovely if you spread loveliness, if you surround yourself in kindness by acting in kindness, if you love people around you, if you immerse yourself and those around you in love to the best of your ability, then you're going to have this love head trip, and that will be your reality. But it's not really real, people will say. Uh, but it is real for you. It is
Mm.
the reality that you live in. You'll never find some
Yeah.
really real that doesn't move, that gets stuck. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
And so Ming Day, right? Your name and your label, it's your reality, your words and your thoughts. It's your world. And oh, thank goodness. That's why things are so fluid. Things can change so much. Anything is possible because it's Ming Day dot Zam. It's just name and label. And so everything is possible.
Yeah. Good.
In emptiness,
Um,
all things are possible.
mhm. I think about the other thing is that we all grow up, I don't know, I don't have a children, but maybe I can ask Nick and Ben. When you grow up in a family and you learn something positive and negative, but maybe you see your parent working so hard and they don't have a good healthy body, then you will tell yourself, or you'll tell yourself you don't force your kids to be, I don't know, you will have some inherent environment from your family. Then you will say, I won't do this to my children, or I will try to um, do the opposite way or something. Then I think in that time, when we observe our family, our parent, our sibling, we also thinking they have some definitive nature of their own, and say we will never do that. We will never do that thing, and we kind of misunderstanding how everything is going. And yeah, for example, for me, I see my parents working so hard from morning to midnight, and I say, well, I will definitely be a laid back person because they work so hard and they got a very not healthy body, and I connect these two together. Yeah, they're working so hard and unhealthy body connect together. So I become a person that was, my motto is don't need to working so hard because Otherwise, you will become like your father and mother. Yeah, I think this is one of the things that can apply to what we see today, the lacking of the definitive nature. What do you think?
I think that's a good reason not to work too hard.
Yes.
I'm going to keep that in mind. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But isn't there a difference between like that sounds like story to me. That sounds like the kind of kuntak that may not exist.
Oh yeah, you can also
Right.
interpret it in that way. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Are they happy or not happy? Is your parent happy or not
They are
happy?
definitely happy, and they have they have their two grandchildren, and right now they don't know I exist.
Yeah.
I'm not,
So
I'm not
if
exist
you
in this family.
if you try to take the cause and you say that it applies to this result, but you could see the result either way. You can say, oh, I can focus on the reasons they're happy, or I can
Yeah.
focus on the reasons they're struggling. So they're not really happy or they're not really struggling. And then you're going to take that same cause and it could lead to either one. You're connecting them by your own story, and it is true for you. That is
Oh,
it's not wrong for you, this story, but it's not coming from them. And that story can be very powerful and
yeah.
useful. Uh, but it didn't come from them. You wrote the cause and you wrote the result.
Yeah. So yeah, like Connie said, yeah, maybe you can see your parent are working so hard and in the same time very healthy.
Mm,
But I put a story in that case, so I make a wrong connection. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, maybe they're just pretending to be your parent and they're just in this world trying to teach you some lesson about when to
Yeah,
work hard and not to work
I
hard in
think you are
life.
right. I think that is also the one of the reason I try to find the answer. Why we should working so hard and go to hospital in the same after that. Yeah. So I think they are trying to showing me some story and setting me up to find the answer.
Yeah. And the kind
And
of
they
being
are
that
happy right
just
now.
came to teach you that lesson and is only here to teach you that lesson, that sort of being doesn't feel pain.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Ben. Thank you, everyone.
Gibson, thank you so much. That was a really nice, fun class. I see Mr. Juan Hasso is patiently standing by, waiting to deliver us with the latest. So hook it up.
Thank you very much, guys. Actually, for those of you who may not know, GIBSON is actually in Japan these days, along with Emily Chang and many more people. But yeah, I just saw them yesterday and I hope I'm gonna see them today as well. Today for us in Asia is Tuesday, April 1st. It's like 9 and something in the morning. It's much easier to do it at this time than at 1 a.m., but I'm not complaining.
Thank you for
Very
doing
happy
that.
to be here. Yes, no, it's great. It has been a lot of adventures, learning, and we hope good things keep happening. So yeah, today, I want to talk about something that's happening or just happened in Vietnam, actually. Grace from Vietnam, one of the organizers and producers of the PCI events, just contacted me. I didn't know about it, so I'm very grateful. She reached out and let me know about this. Very cool news. So I'll give you quick context. Is a few days ago, a big team of teachers and students were also in Japan, but not quite in Kyoto. There was many events in Kyoto like CSP. Now DSCU is happening. Amazing classes. We talked about it a few days ago in the previous PTWN news with Geshe presenting, for example, this new project. It's called 8 Libraries. Wonderful project. Hopefully soon we can have someone talking more in depth about it. But all that was happening, and then some other teachers, JB Laconila, Xuanzang, many more teachers were producing and having an event in Awaji Island in Japan. And then from there, they flew to Vietnam. I didn't know anything about this, but they flew to Vietnam. And then I want to share some of the pictures of the event that Mr. Bean helped to produce there in Vietnam. It was like a DCI event where many principles were shared, like the 4 steps, the 4 ways in which seats open, the 2 husbands in the kitchen, the pen, how to give with joy will bring us the results we want. So I'm going to be sharing quickly some pictures about it. Let me find the presentation. Share. Can you see the pictures? Thumbs up. I hope yes.
It says it's coming.
Okay, I see. It may be coming then.
It's going around the world in a really slow way.
Yeah. Now I understand Gina Rivera when she has to wait nervously like I am now. Maybe if it doesn't work, I'm gonna ask her to share. I was trying to share myself, but maybe my internet is not the best for this right now. So I'm gonna stop my share and I'll check if you, Gina, could instead, because mine not working very well.
Now we see something.
But the pictures, you mean?
We see this. Connie O'Brien and John Brady and Xuanzang.
It's kind of a power picture of the 3 of them.
Power, yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
See it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yes. So that's the event. It was happening. Very beautiful. You can see many of the producers and participants there. Mr. Bean, one of the big producers in the middle. Then we have JB Laconila with amazing translator. Super happy with Xuanzang Shi and many more people. Xingtian, Ella, many more people. And let me see. Yes. Just sharing pictures, right, of what happened. And then they made a special video for us to invite the international audience, especially the Vietnamese audience, but really the international audience, to the next event they are producing in July. For that, I would like Gina, if you can help me to share the video, please.
People from Vietnam who attended the DCI event on March 31st. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for learning the DCI seed system to give what you want first.
It was like a reunion of old friends coming together after maybe 4 or 5 years, and the feeling in the room was just love for each other.
Whatever you do, when you give to others first, give with joy. You remember this one thing, give with joy, you're set.
We can tell you every part of how to fix your life, how to be financially abundant. But if we don't do it ourselves, if we don't try a 4-step program, like an experiment to see if it really works, you will never know. So do the 4 steps. There's another program coming in the future in July, and this organization called Yoga Studies Institute is coming. And this woman, who happens to be my wife, is going to be bringing some of her top staff to give a very beautiful 4-day intensive.
When you use your body to embody the wisdom, when you serve others, you do yoga. When you go out and you help people, you do yoga. And this thing is called the jewel of sharing, because you will make all your results come back much faster. It's done with diamond wisdom. The biggest benefit of yoga is happiness, is mindfulness. It means that you know all day long how your world is working, how to make everything, all your dreams come true. You can use yoga for this. So this Jewel of Sharing program, it's teaching people how to walk in the world like a master, like the biggest master of all of these techniques, how they actually give, how they share. It's actually called, the result is called true happiness. True happiness. The ancient texts tell you this. So that is the result. True happiness doesn't matter if you are trying to create abundance just financially, abundance in relationships, abundance in your peace, the peace of your mind, anything, or abundance in health. Because yoga is about your health. The secret of yoga is not in the asana, is not in the posture. It's what you do for others. So we will teach you those secrets. Please come.
We're working, very interestingly enough, yoga opens up what we call the subtle body. And the subtle body is not this body. It actually makes this body function or not function. So when you're working with energies that are not in the gross body, occupying in the gross body, but if you begin to use those energies, the healing process of your mind and body can really be actual. When you have yoga in your life, you're purifying your mind.
That's great, that's great. Congratulations. And the final word to Vietnamese audience.
We can't wait to see you again. Thank you for joining us yesterday for a wonderful event put on by DCI.
I love Vietnam. I want to come back again and again. Your hearts are wide open to the world. I think it's an example of love that we need to share in the world right now, especially.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. I hope you were able to watch the video well. My internet was a little frozen, so I sometimes got pixel, but great. Glad to hear. Okay, so that was happening in Vietnam, and hopefully soon I will have the QR code for people interested in that event. It's in July. We will keep reporting about it. For now, we go with Chloe because she has also very cool news to share with us. Could you help me to spotlight Chloe, Ma, please?
Hello, Juan.
Good to see you again.
I'm joining you from the planet, matching your background.
I know, cool. You just need the logo there as well. No, just kidding. So tell us, what's cooking over there in Arizona?
Yes,
What's
so
happening?
today in our office in Sedona, we have a big truck coming. Gina, if you could share the picture. Everybody in the room, please join me to guess what is coming to our office today. What's in the truck? Could you, Gina, share the photos? So take a next one, please. Take a guess. What's in the truck? So
Emptiness.
Oh, nice. Emptiness. Thank you, Venerable Pala. So that's what it is. A big 10 boxes of something. So actually Gibson guessed it. Yes, this is his new book with Geshe Michael and Gibson Chen. They arrived today fresh out of the oven, and they are 9 lucky people who got the first copy in the mail. They're gonna receive it soon. So I just want to share this with you guys. Congratulations on all the translators and editors and whoever worked on this. So if you want to get your copy, join the first batch of freshly made The Song of My Spiritual Life, so that you will get a physical copy directly from Sedona. And if it's too far for you, you can also get an ebook. So that was it. Thank you so much. I know you have a next guest, so I'll make my short. Thank you, Juan.
Very welcome. So wait, you wanna say anything else about the AR, or we still waiting on news about it later?
Well, I have 2 minutes, so I'll give it to next guest.
Okay, we go with our next guest, Tim Lowenhub. He has very amazing news. Can you help me spot? Yeah, sorry, my internet is running slow.
We had big promises for this news, Tim.
It's big. I didn't know how big it was until Juan just told us.
Well, you know, size can be relative.
So what do you want to ask me, Juan? That'll help tee it up for me better.
This is the thing. We've been hearing that there is like an upcoming series of 4 very important events that will help us as an audience, will help us to prepare for the Diamond Way series Geshe is about to teach in 2026. The most upcoming one is in April, in 17th of April at Diamond Mountain.
Right.
So the idea is to just maybe coming from you, that you are basically one of the main organizers and producers of these events, although of course with your, so say, collaboration part, in this case, Diamond Mountain. But if you could give the audience a little bit of the whole plan and relevance of this particular upcoming event in April, and why is this unique chance of start getting ready for the Diamond Way series on 2026.
Cool. All right. So thank you, Juan. That's helpful. Because I wanted to know what people want. I wanted to know what people wanted to know.
You.
Yeah. So really for the last 15 years, I've watched people ask Geshe Michael for Diamond Way teachings. Right. And I've seen it over and over again, and he's always has said, no, I'm not going to teach it again. I already did. That's what the 18 courses are for, right? You know, and then he recommends other good teachers to learn those 18 courses from. And I guess somehow no turned into a yes, right? You know, and I think, so what's happening is, with Gibson's book, which just arrived in Sedona, thank you, Chloe. That was a nice entry point. To enter the Diamond Way, there is preparation, right? There is some necessary preparation. So over the next year-ish, I'm going to say, I'm not going to commit to 4, it might be longer than that, but the next year-ish, Geshe Michael's offering a course through the 5 houses for that preparation. And that preparation is Gibson's book. Everything you need to know and be prepared. And so we're having that first course starting in April 17th at Diamond Mountain. And it's also online as well. So we are essentially sold out in person. We are oversold. People are still trying to get in person. And you can come online, no problem. And we also, so before we talk a little bit more about what's coming up, is that if, let's say you're in a country where you can't come to a 5 houses event, right? So, and I think this is really important. Those of you who do want to come, and these courses are required, you have to come online to be able to enter next year in 2026. But if you're in a country where you can't come online, we have an option from Jasmine Yao. She's offering 3 courses this year in Malaysia, and Gina is going to put that up right now. And you can come in person in Malaysia, and she'll be offering the same course as well. So we're trying to figure out how to make this available worldwide for everybody. There's a little error here where it says Tokyo, Japan in December. That's actually supposed to be Kyoto. But starting in April, Jasmine will be offering these courses live. And in April, we're sending Hector Marcel and Supriya from the 3 Jewels as representatives of the 5 houses. to teach more in depth. So it's not just a standard OMO course where we broadcast everything and you just watch things on the screen. We're actually sending teachers there as well, so you can get your questions answered. And then if you want to learn a little bit more about it, next week, I'm giving a class on the personalities of the 5 houses.
Ooh.
So it's a 1-hour seminar, how to get ready for the Diamond Way. And we're going to be talking about the personalities of the 5 houses and which house are you going to belong to, right? So this is an incredibly fun class. And this is going to be a leader into our event at Diamond Mountain. Because at Diamond Mountain, you will have to choose which house you're going to enter. And then all of our activities and additional classes are going to be house-based. So you choose one and then you go on running that way. So that's what's coming up, Juan. It's super exciting. We have over 1,000 people registered so far. And we're hoping for a lot more, not because we're looking for numbers, but we think it's important that everyone have an opportunity to join and get these deeper teachings starting in 2026. And you have to be ready. It's not, you just can't jump in. So please join us and we will take you through that journey over the next year. And then we hope to see everyone again in 2026.
Awesome, team. Thank you so much. Hope to see you a little later today. And let's move on to watch the wonderful recording that Tim and I and GIBSON and a few other people went yesterday. Let's go on it and see you next time.
These make me nervous, Juan, when you say something that